Hi everyone. This video is going to be about why I think we need a root group in GitLab. So the awesome thing we have done in GitLab, and lots of kudos to Martin Jankowski, and it was a team effort, obviously. We are on one code base. We used to have 3 different code bases: CE, EE, and GitLab.com. It's one code base. So the code base we run on GitLab.com is exactly the same code base that our customers run. That allows us to kind of, every innovation we make, they land in both. And it's been a big lever in GitLab. Like there's companies that specialize on self-managed, companies that specialize on SaaS. We don't need to pick one. And right now, some of our competitors are leaving the self-managed customers kind of behind, and they're putting all their efforts into SaaS. We can support both, and it's amazing. However, there's one thing where we're not doing that. We have a lot of instance admin functionality, where you can see across your instance, what groups are there. You can lock certain things. There's just a whole ton of things that has kind of instance functionality. And so for new features, suppose, I don't know, you want to prevent people from logging in if they're not in the LDAP system or something like that. And there's like hundreds of these kinds of features. We got to pick, are we going to release that on the group level first or on the instance level first? And right now, more than 80% of our revenue is coming from self-managed. So although our policy is do it first on the group side, sometimes like our customers, the customer that actually needs it, wants it on the instance level. And then we do it in one or the other. And then like a month later, there's a ton of people who say, no, I need it on the other side because they've seen the feature release and they can't use it. What if we create a root group? A group that is above all the top level namespaces, all the top level groups in your GitLab instance. And this root group, you would only have access to it if you're an admin on the instance. However, it would look like every other group. So instead of having all this special functionality in like the admin instance settings and on the group level, you'd only have them on the group level. And anything that becomes available on the group level also is on the instance level because you have the root group. Actually, maybe we should call it the instance group because that kind of, sorry for changing it, and we might have not adjusted the title of this thing. Let's call it the instance group. The instance group contains all the groups in the instance. And no more duplication. We just have to release it once. And we solve this whole conundrum, and I bet it's a lot cleaner code. There's a lot of code duplication that we can remove as well. Any questions or concerns?
I don't have any major questions. I think that makes sense overall. I guess, is your proposal to only put admins in that top level group then? That root, sorry, instance group, I believe is what you recommended calling it?
I think by default admins have access, but it should just act like any group. So fine, if you want to invite someone else to there, just make it a normal group as far as we can. But like who should be in that group? After we introduce it, I think the admins make sense.
So then every other group becomes a subgroup off of that group then?
Exactly. But we'll keep the nomenclature the same. Like top level namespace still means all the child groups of the instance group. Like we'll keep that the same. It's just this very special instance group. And then we can deprecate all those instance level screens that are under the admin screen and get rid of all that duplication. And we'll have finally, like we've had big initiatives in the past, we're not done yet, like have feature parity for GitLab.com because we don't have total feature parity today.
I agree with the problem we're trying to solve. I think that I need to spend some more time thinking about what specific features are in the admin panel that we could successfully execute at the group level. There are some features, I think it makes total sense, but there are some features like, for instance, like Geo comes to mind, like user credential management, like the credential inventory for the compliance dashboard, where these are credentials that are like instance wide and or user level things that are hard to duplicate at the group level. So I think I'd have to just kind of enumerate all of the kind of admin level functionality that we could potentially execute
Yeah.
at the group level.
I'm open to the possibility that there's some admin features that can be replicated. I'm not saying remove the admin area. I'm just saying, hey, let's move all the stuff we can move. And the first things we should move is like stuff that's already duplicated. Like, let's get rid of that, or stuff that isn't available at the group level today. Yeah, let's move that so that people can. So there's an order. Like, first move the stuff that is now not on the group level and that customers are asking for. Then move the stuff that's now not at the group level and customers are not asking for. Then move stuff that's now in both, and you can reduce the duplication. And only then think of moving stuff that might not make sense. But if I have a look at like messages, maybe you want to send messages to like, if you have a group, maybe you don't want to send messages to that group. Monitoring, yeah, makes sense. Applications, maybe. Abuse reports, yeah, maybe you want to keep track of abuse reports in your group. Licenses, yeah, kind of already duplicated. Kubernetes already duplicated. Push rules already duplicated. Geo, why don't you let me kind of stream from GitLab.com to my own self-managed Geo thing for faster caching? I think there's some people who are up for that functionality. Deploy keys, totally. Credentials, I don't understand. Service templates, yeah, I'd like to have that on the group level. Labels, yeah, I'd like to have that on the group level. Appearance, yeah, I'd like to customize that. So I think there's a case for a lot of them, but let's start with the stuff that people are actually asking for. But also at that point, we already said a while ago, like, hey, we can only introduce stuff at the group level because we want feature parity, and only then at the instance level. And right now we're not doing that. I know of multiple features where we're introducing it first on the admin level. And this will allow us to stop that. Look, everything has to go into the instance group.
I think another benefit and another problem we solve by taking this approach is that we open the possibility of being able to selectively allow non-administrators to be able to have access to certain admin level features that are currently admin level. Because right now you have to basically have sudo access across the entire instance to get everything into admin panel. But if we have this instance group or this object that we start moving these things to, we can potentially add the possibility to say, hey, the credentials or deploy keys. Well, yeah. you can allow other users.
I could have like guest level access to the instance group, so I can see how many users there are on GitLab.com, but I couldn't do anything there, like stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah, like DevOps score comes to mind, where we've talked a lot about getting that number in front of a lot more people. You could do that at this instance level group by having people just with view only access for their own instance. Right now, only admins of those people, of our self-managed customers can see that feature.
So no one's using it, and it's not adding any value.
Yeah, very few users.
And just to be clear, every function that's on the instance group is in all groups, is in all subgroups as well. There's no features that are unique to the instance group. It's just a group.
Yeah. Cool. So I think there's two problems that I'm hearing. The first is we're really inefficient because we have to duplicate our features 3 times across different constructs. That's bad.
2 times, right? We have to have them on the group level and on the instance level.
Well, and sometimes on the project level.
Yeah, we're not solving that with this.
Sure. Sure. Fair point. So we reduce 1 point of inefficiency. And I think the second problem that we solve is that we create a consistent experience between self-managed and .com for most things. I still think there's probably some things we need to think through on the admin panel, what can and can't be taken down to that instance level group. But would you agree that those are the 2 main problems, Sid?
I think there's So the first one is inefficiency. The second one is parity. And the third one is accessibility. Like thinking right now, admin has been like, the admin can do everything. There's no difference between viewing and writing. This would allow us to give, if we move these instance level features to the group level, we can differentiate between what a guest and a reporter and a maintainer can do. So I think that's the third advantage.
Great. Efficiency, parity, accessibility.
Yep.
Thank you. I appreciate the discussion.
Thanks for asking.
And I just have a quick question. Do we know, I'm not able to find this in the handbook, but do we have a product principle that says that we should not build things at the instance level unless we have a super compelling reason why? I think that we should we should default to group level things like whenever possible.
Yeah, well, we're going to solve it this way, and we'll add like, look, no more features in the admin screens. Put it all on the instance level, or in the instance at the group level, and therefore automatically it will be in the instance group. And I thought it was in the handbook, but it might not be.
Cool. I'll take a look and I'll open it tomorrow if not, because I can open that today as opposed to, I'm not sure when we'll get to instance group, but makes sense. Cool.
Kristen, you want to stop that stream?